So if you see behind me, there is a school bus, and the school bus is those Mexican people you see out there in the field. That's what they use to get here to do their farm work, which is actually pretty ingenious idea, because you can get a used school bus for not a lot of money, and then use it to carry a lot of people around without having to buy an expensive van. So anyway, they're out here working in tobacco fields. I used to work in the tobacco fields when I was young. Not good memories. So yeah, I've done that exact job, and it's very unpleasant. Well, it is a spectacular day here. It's funny, we had a tropical storm come through here yesterday, and it was Elsa, and it was like cloudy and rainy and dreary, and it was like 70 degrees, which is a little bit cool. But today it's back to normal again. I am so happy because I'm out here riding my bike and having a good time. So I want to tell you about my last trip. I went to, of course, Campground. It's that same one I've been to a couple of times by the beach, called Flanner's Beach Campground. They have a day use area. It's obviously available to the campers, but it's also available to the general public. But they have a day use area where you can, it's this cliff, and you can take these stairs all the way down to the beach area. Well, that area is closed off because there was a hurricane that went through, or a big storm that went through like 2 years ago, and they still haven't opened it yet. So they told me this right up front, as soon as I went to check in, they're like, the beach area is closed, you can't go down there. So I was like, okay. I was thinking to myself, I'll take that with a grain of salt, right? So, so anyway, I decided I'm gonna go down to that area. Yeah, don't ever tell a child what not to do, because that's exactly what they'll do. So I decided I was going to go down to that area. So I go down to this area, and I see this guy down there flying a drone, like a big drone, on the very edge of the cliff, And of course there were keep out, no trespassing signs everywhere, by the way. Of course I totally ignore those. But, I saw this guy down there flying the drone around, so I walked up there and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, I work for the, I think, Park Service, and he said he was doing a mapping. They were using the drones to map the area so they could, I guess, come up with a plan for restoring it and opening the beach back up again. And he was telling me all about erosion and stuff, and I kind of like tuned him out a little bit when he was talking about all, too much of that stuff. So anyway, I said, "What time are you going to be gone? Because I'm going to come back down here." And he says, I just come right out with it. He says, "Oh, I'll be gone, by this afternoon." So I came back that afternoon, and yeah, he was gone. And there was, I climbed down the cliff and went to the beach, right? And there was this guy who he had 2 dogs, and he was throwing a ball. And so, he walked by me, and I was like, I do this to everyone, by the way. I said, "Would you like me to fly my drone around and film you playing with your dogs? And then I'll just send you that footage, and then you can put it on Instagram or Facebook or something like that if you want." He said, "Sure." I filmed several different things, him playing with his dogs and stuff, and I talked to him and got to know him, and he's in the military, and he'd only been here 10 days. He moved here from Oregon, and real nice chap though, and he likes doing outdoor stuff and that kind of thing. And so I told him, I said, well, if you ever want to go camping, just let me know. And he says, oh, that would be great. I, you know, spent some time with him, chatted with him, basically went back to my campsite, and I ran into this one guy who was just setting up camp, and he had a California license plate on the front of his truck because he had backed in. And I said, you drove all the way from California? And so we got into this long conversation. He was telling me about his life. Basically, he stays at the campsite, which is pretty interesting, during the week. So he doesn't have to commute. It's like a 2.5 hour commute. And then he just goes home on the weekends. And it's because it's only $20 a night to stay at that campground. I think I met about 5 different people. Got to know like 5 different people on this trip. Not everybody is open to even talking to you. Some people just ignore you. And definitely very few are open to like getting on camera. But I do enjoy, you know, meeting new people and finding out their situation. I will tell you one last thing, and I don't have any footage to back this up. So that's why I'll tell you this. But I'm camping next to this guy with this fold-out trailer, and so he says, so we were just chatting, you know, out by the picnic table. He was talking, all he kept talking about was his wife and his kids, these young kids. That's all he kept talking about. And I was like, okay. And then I said, so you're here by yourself? I said, you know, your wife's not with you? And he said, yeah. He said, the arrangement my wife and I have, we just pretty much do what we want to do. I said, oh, well, that's very interesting. So I am not going into speculations about that, but I just thought I would throw that out there.